Hey Danielle, welcome to Ottawa. Just maybe talk through what was going through your mind when you heard your name selected by Billie Jean King and that you were coming to Ottawa.
Yeah, I mean, I think I had a lot of different emotions in that moment. Obviously, relieved, but also excited, and yeah, I would say mostly just excited. I've seen what Ottawa has done and the crowds they've brought in, and obviously they have an incredible coaching staff and management on top of the team. So to hear my name called to Ottawa was definitely really incredible, and fortunate that my parents were here and I got to share that moment with them.
Maybe just to follow up, like how special was it just to have your family here, and maybe with how quickly the league's come, how cool is it just to now know that you're playing professional women's hockey?
Yeah, obviously it's a huge honor, and I think it's all owed to the past and present players of the women's hockey game and how they've kind of fought for a league like this that's sustainable, and obviously has done tremendous this first year. So I think all the credit is owed to them, and I'm just super proud and incredible. I mean, super proud and happy to be a small part of that, hopefully. So.
Question across the way.
Hi Danielle, congratulations. C. Benwell from GameDay Hockey. I'm just wondering if you're familiar with Ottawa and if you're happy to be staying in Canada.
Yeah, obviously I've tuned into the league and seen the incredible things Ottawa has done this year, and to see their record-breaking crowds in Canada and to see how excited the fans are definitely gets me really excited to be back in Canada. It's been about 5 years. Obviously I was down in New York at Colgate, but yeah, I'm super excited to be a part of this organization and hopefully in the future there too.
Hi Danielle, Nicole has a Victory Press. You have had a great couple of months. Could you, like 5 months ago, have ever kind of dreamed that you'd be in this position right now?
I think if you asked me 5 months ago, I would probably say no, but now that I'm kind of living in it, it's definitely a dream come true. The Professional Women's Hockey League has been something I've had my eyes on ever since it was established, so to be here and be a part of this moment is just super incredible and speaks to the growth of the women's game, so I'm super happy to be here and also very honored too.
Maybe just going off that, like I think you talked about Brianne Jenner, looking up to her. Any connections on the Ottawa team from Hockey Canada? Maybe talk about the players on the team that you know and
yeah, definitely. I've had the honor to play with them at Hockey Canada, so I've learned so much from them, specifically Brianne Jenner, Emily Clark, and Ashton Bell. So they're great people, and I know they're doing a great job of leading Ottawa. So I'm super happy to be a part of that. And obviously Carla McLeod is from Alberta, so she coached me at Team Alberta in grade 12, where we won the Canada Winter Games, which was a bit of an upset for some might say, but yeah, she's such a great person and great coach, and I'm super happy to be a part of the organization.
Are you excited for a lot of Carla's pep talks and enthusiasm?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even through the interview process, she sure knew how to keep things light, and that's kind of the player I am too, never taking things too seriously. So to be a part of that and have her coach me full time, I think will be really special for me.
Danielle, you played kind of two different roles this past 2 seasons at Colgate. How do you see sort of using both of those lessons moving forward to kind of be the player you will be professionally?
Yeah, I think just kind of helping out wherever they need me. I'm willing to play any role pretty much, so wherever they see me fitting in the lineup or whatever they need out of me, I'm definitely willing to do. So I like to think I'm more of a playmaker, so just trying to help the team out in any way I can, and yeah, really looking forward to it.
Danielle, as you watched this is a question from online from Simon Hopkins of the Ice Garden. As you watched the PWHL last year, what were your biggest takeaways about style of play in the league? Yeah, as far as the style of play, I would just say the physicality and also speed. On top of being such incredible players, there's a whole new element on top of that with the physicality and the body contact. So that's definitely something I don't really shy away out of. So I'm really looking forward to that aspect of it and the competitiveness of the league every single game. Question from Julian Paquette of Le Blois. What are you most looking forward to about playing in Ottawa?
I've said it a few times, but I just think the fan base, obviously I haven't been back in Canada for 5 years now, but I'm super excited to head back to Canada and live in Ottawa. But I've seen what the fans have done and the energy they bring into the games every single game. So that's probably something I'm really looking forward to and playing back in Canada for sure.
I started to follow up. Have you had any conversations with Ottawa management leading up to the draft? And what were those conversations like?
Yeah, I had a few. I was pretty fortunate. Like I mentioned, Carla used to coach me at Team Alberta, so we've definitely kept in touch over the past few years. But I had a good few calls with their management too, so I hope it kind of allowed them to get to know me a bit better. But yeah, I thought the calls went really well, and I'm super excited to be part of this organization.
John Worrell, AP, asks, what does it say about being regarded in the same draft as Sarah Finley and to be drafted behind her?
Yeah, obviously she's an incredible player, and she's been in the spotlight for many years. So to be kind of picked behind her is obviously a big honor too. And she's done a lot of things both at Princeton and through Hockey Canada. So yeah, I'm excited to see what she'll accomplish too throughout the PWHL.
Thank you very much, Danielle.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Savolainen, Ronja, perhaps please just tell us what it means to be drafted.
It means a lot. It's a dream come true, and it's such an honor to be selected. And yeah, I'm just I can't wait to get to Ottawa and meet all the people there.
We have questions in the audience. Please raise your hand and wait the microphone. If we have questions online, please type them into the chat.
Well, what was just your reaction when you heard your name called and you found out that you're coming to Ottawa?
Yeah, I was surprised. I wasn't expecting to get selected that early. So yeah, it was just an honor, and I was super happy.
And with that, did you have any conversations with Ottawa before the draft? Maybe what were those like as well?
Actually, I didn't. I saw them yesterday, like 10 p.m. At the hotel, just like they were walking by, and then it was like saying hi, and so yeah, that was surprising.
Maybe just what will it be like for you just to make that transition? Do you think from Europe to come here and play in the PWHL? What do you think that transition will be like for you?
I mean, it's for sure gonna be great. It's the highest league and the best league, and the game is so much faster, and you need to develop in every kind of situation you have out there. So I mean, I just can't wait to go there and practice and get the best version of myself and enjoy playing hockey.
Hi, Nicole Hazy, Victory Press. Ottawa is known as a very international group. Are you looking forward to going to this group that sort of has a style of play that's really a mix of North American and other countries?
Yeah, for sure. It's amazing. I think it's nice to have that little mix of countries. So I mean, it's great. I know a few players from Czech, so it's going to be a little easier to come there.
Is there anything you want to maybe tell the fans back in Ottawa, like anything about you, or anything, that they maybe should know about you and your personality?
I mean, I love to talk, I love to be happy and just be like have a positive vibe around me. So I'm just hoping that I'm gonna, I'm just gonna do everything out there and just fight and eat those pucks. So I hope the fans will love that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, online, Ronja from Simon Hopkins in the Ice Garden. Have you watched? Yeah, sorry, we still got some questions. They'll just be speaking to you virtually. The Ice Garden asks, Ronja, have you watched Ottawa play at all this season? And do you have any thoughts on the team?
I haven't seen that many games. They're always during the night. So I think I saw a few games in the beginning of the season, because they played like 9 or 10 p.m. Swedish time. So I haven't seen that many games, so I can't answer more than that.
Julian Paquette from Le Blois asks, do you or anyone on the team did anyone on the team or the coaching staff? Sorry, this is my fault. Do you know anyone on the team or the coaching staff already? And what is your relationship like with them?
I don't know them that much. I've been just talking with Carla a little bit. I just know her because of the Czech people I'd be playing with. So yeah, I heard a lot of good things about her, and she's a great coach. I can't wait to meet her and just develop myself.
Follow-up question from the Ice Garden. You're only the second Finnish player to come to the PWHL. Do you see more players from Finland making the move to North America in the coming years?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope this inspires them to take the move forward. And I mean, this will be a great opportunity to get more players here and kind of challenge the US and the Canada in future with the World Championship. So yeah, I hope that's going to be inspiring for them too.
Okay, I'll do last call for questions in the chat from our remote media. Seeing no more questions, Ronja, congratulations.
Thank you.
Member of PWHL Ottawa, Gwyneth Philips. Gwyneth, congratulations on being drafted. Tell us how it feels.
It feels surreal. I'm super excited to be a part of this program and just to be a part of this amazing league.
We'll take questions for Gwyneth, either online or in the room. Reminder to our folks online, if you have a question, please type it into the chat.
Hey Gwyneth, just maybe tell the fans, or what was it like just to hear your name, and what was going through your mind when you heard, your name and, saw all the PWHL Ottawa players as well on the stage to support you?
I was ecstatic. I didn't know where I was going to go, but to end up at such a great place is amazing. And, having some of the girls up there to, congratulate me and call my name was really cool. And I think it just goes to show the culture that team has.
Maybe like obviously as a goaltender heading into a draft, it can kind of be, you don't really know where you're going. What was that like for you? Just maybe the draft, like being on the draft floor before you were selected. What was going through your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea where I was going to go. There's teams that needed a goalie more than others, and I just kind of went in with I'm going to be playing hockey mentality, and I'm really excited that this is where I got selected to go. But I was ready to just go play hockey, go make an impact on a team somewhere.
How excited are you to be now a professional women's hockey player?
That's still crazy to hear. I watched my friends do it last year, and now for me to be up here and doing it, super excited. Leaving lasting impact on some little girls that want to play professional hockey one day.
Maybe on that a little bit, like what would you have told like 12 years, like when you were 12 years old, like what would you been thinking about, and knowing now that you're in a professional women's hockey player, what would you told 12-year-old self you say?
I don't think 12-year-old self would really listen to me too much, but I think if I told myself there's something more to play for, you could play after college. That would have just been so cool. And I don't know if I would have believed my current self, like that there'd be a women's league in 10 years. One that's so competitive and amazing.
We do have some questions from folks in pardon me. Go ahead, please, Zoe. I was staring in the screen.
I asked your now former teammate Megan about playing against you in the future. She said she was not looking forward to that. I wonder if you have any thoughts on playing against Megan or any of your other former teammates.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm not certain, but I think in U19 club hockey, I think Meg actually gave me a concussion. We've never confirmed that, but it was against her team and it was a big defenseman. So, we're not going to repeat that, but I'm really excited to play against some both former teammates and, best friends.
Thank you so much.
Okay, now we can go online. Gwyneth, where am I here? Describe your excitement for working and being partners with Emmerich Smashmeyer, as well as former NHL goalie coach Pierre Blue next season.
Yeah, I mean, I think me and Emmett play a very different style game, so I think there's a lot to learn from her, and we know that she's one of the best, so I can't wait to meet her and take some tools from her toolbox, maybe put them in my toolbox, and and then be coached by fabulous goalie coach.
Have you met Emmerich before or Coach Blue?
No, I haven't had the pleasure to meet either of them, but I'm really excited. Hopefully hopefully today or tomorrow.
A follow-up question from Simon Hopkins of the Ice Garden. Had you spoken with Ottawa management ahead of the draft? And if so, what were those conversations like?
No, I really didn't have conversations with any coaches or staff, including Ottawa. So again, just a really big surprise, and I just was, going out there with hope to get drafted.
And just describing the feeling of celebrating this moment with your friends and family in attendance.
It was sort of surreal again. Like I said, I've got a lot of former teammates out here, and my mom's here. I kicked my dad out. My dog's sick, and so he's babysitting my dog, and I feel really bad about that. It's his 65th birthday, so sorry about that, Dad. Thanks for supporting from afar.
Thoughts on being the first goaltender selected?
That's a huge honor. Seeing the goalies that were in the draft list are, really great goalies, from college and then, the overseas league, and, to be even just in the group with those girls is amazing. So I'm really honored.
And last question, how would you describe your playing style as a goaltender?
I like to consider myself as athletic. I'm not the biggest goalie usually, so I like to try to play a little bit more athletic and composed. But I think I do a pretty good job of managing the athleticism and not getting too all over the place.
Gwyneth, congratulations.
Thank you.
Member of PWHL, Stephanie Markowski. Stephanie, congratulations on being drafted. Tell us how it feels.
It feels awesome to go to a Canadian city like Ottawa. Surreal, and I just couldn't be more excited.
Take questions now.
I just asked you this, but just maybe talk about your connection with Danielle and what it's like to now become teammates and play together in Ottawa.
Yeah, we've known each other since we were 4, went to preschool together, and grew up playing with each other. So to go and get drafted to Ottawa with my best friend, it's pretty surreal, and I'm super excited to get going with her.
Are you excited to, feed her in the slot and stuff like that, and maybe have some celebrations together on the ice?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm sure there'll be lots of celebrating.
Maybe just talk about, did you have any conversations with Ottawa before the draft? And yeah.
Yeah, Ottawa was definitely high on my list of teams I wanted to get drafted to, just because Canadian city, and I know Carla pretty well. She's coached me before, and I really like her coaching style. So that was a big thing I was excited for and hope to go to Ottawa.
Maybe with that, what's it like to be coached by Carla? Do you have any memories, as a kid being coached by her?
Yeah, what I can say about Carla, she's very upbeat. She's very well spoken, and she knows kind of what to say at the right times to get everyone motivated. And also on ice, just tactically is a really good coach. So I'm super excited.
Anything you want to tell the fans in Ottawa about you that they might not know?
Something maybe they don't know. I've been to Thailand. I swam with elephants. I don't know. That's kind of a little bit about me, but I don't know if there's anything crazy.
Awesome. Thank you.
Questions from the room?
I had a chance to ask Gabby about transitioning from Ohio State. There have already been 5 Buckeyes selected in this draft, and you're one of them. What does it mean to be transitioning away from Ohio State and into the pro level with so many of your teammates?
Yeah, it's really cool that a lot of us are here and able to cheer each other on, support each other, and transitioning from Ohio State to the PWHL. I think will be a good transition just because there's obviously so many draft picks and we are pushed every day on the ice there. And I think it's going to set us up really good to enter the PWHL.
How would you describe your game as a defender and what you're hoping to bring to the pro level?
I think I'm a 200-foot defenseman. I really worked on my defensive play and can jump in the rush and also contribute offensively. So I think that's what I can bring to Ottawa this year.
Is there anyone you're particularly looking forward to playing with or against in the PWHL?
I would say just be drafted with Danielle Serdachny. That's probably, now that that just happened, probably my most excited player to play with right now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Stephanie, similar to one of your last questions about Ohio State, but what does it mean for your program and just for your group of friends, teammates, to have so many Ohio State players taken in the draft?
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, all year we worked so hard and we were able to win that national championship. So to see the reward of that and then the reward of so many Buckeyes here and getting drafted really means a lot.
As you watched the PWHL last year, what were your takeaways about the play?
I think obviously everyone says it's a more physical game, and I think going from college to the pro, it's just a more mature game, and you have to adapt to that and learn when to make the right plays.
Sorry, I should have prefaced the first question I asked was from John Warren with the AAP. The last one was Simon Hopkins, who covers Ottawa for the Ice Garden. And this next question is from Julianne Paquette of Le Droit. The blue line in Ottawa has a lot of good players, including fellow draftee Ronja Savolainen. How excited are you to come to training camp and fight for a spot?
Yeah, I'm super excited. Obviously, there's so many talented players on Ottawa, and I know they'll push me, and I'm up for the challenge to work as hard as I can to earn my spot on the team.
Any more questions for Stephanie? Just allow a moment here. Stephanie, congratulations.
Thank you.
Seated now at the podium is the newest member of PWHL, Mannon McMahon. Mannon, congratulations on being drafted, and please tell us how it feels.
Yeah, it's surreal. I don't think I've stopped shaking since it's happened, but I couldn't be more happy that it's Ottawa, and I can't wait to get home.
Questions?
Carla and the team, they have this positive energy. Do you feel like you fit right in with just like the culture that they have there in Ottawa?
Yeah, I mean, I've been told I can't stop smiling, so I think I'd fit in just well. But yeah, I know a few players there already, and they just have such positive mindsets all the time, and I feel like we're friends because of that reason. So I'm super excited to contribute to that.
Do you feel like it'll be a bit of a home away from home with Gabby and Ashton Bell that you played with, and now you'll become teammates again?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to Ashton and Gabby all year long about how everything was going, and just got every update possible from them. So it definitely is a sense of comfort going to a place where I have two of my best friends at, and yeah, definitely a home away from home. So I'm super excited and thankful for that.
Jeanette Cerner, Twin Cities Pages. Just wondering, how much contact did you have with each of the teams ahead of the draft, and can you describe any of that, or is this kind of a super surprise of where you went?
Yeah, I think a lot of the contact was behind the scenes with my coach who acted as my agent, and then just like a couple phone calls. But yeah, definitely didn't know where I was going coming in here today. Didn't really have any expectations, but I couldn't be more happy that it's Ottawa.
Just because of the way the years have fallen, make you one of the few Minnesota grads that have gone so far. So just what does it mean to be sort of in an area that you're comfortable? You know that there are people here, there are fans here, getting this opportunity to do this draft here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I heard it was in Minnesota, I was like so excited just because I knew being 20 minutes from here that I was going to have a lot of people here to support me, including my family members who have done so much to get me here. So for them to be able to be here and experience this special moment with me is something that I'm extremely thankful for, as well as my teammates who drove down from Duluth, and then some other current or former Bulldogs that are also in the draft as well. So it's super exciting that it's close to home in Minneapolis, and I don't know if I would have had everyone else come out if it was somewhere further. So I'm super thankful that it was here to experience a special moment with them.
You played a few different roles in your time at Duluth, which, you know, I would assume like talks about your adaptability, but like, how do you think that the way that Lauren was able to use you in different ways prepares you for what you have ahead?
Yeah, for sure. Great question. I think in the beginning of my time as a Bulldog, I don't think many people know this, but I was a fourth line player, and each year kind of adapted and got a little better, and then it was to third line, and then it was to second line, and then it was to first line. So yeah, I played a lot of different roles in my time at UMD, and I think it's taught me so many different lessons that I will take with me to Ottawa, just knowing what it means to be each different role on a team. And I credit all that to Maura. She was one of the best coaches I've ever had, and I know that when I go to Ottawa, Carla's going to get the best player that's inside of me out, and I'm super thankful and excited for that.
you all, and I think you particularly were quite good at sort of making some of those late game charges and sort of it wasn't necessarily the top liner, the top players making those late goals. And just what is it about your game that like allows you to be so successful in those times and maybe come from like not being at the point and scoring, but picking up those later goals and scoring in those more opportune times?
Yeah, I think this past year at UMD, I was a fifth year, so obviously a little more experience, a little more confident. And when you get into those situations in games, it's just having the confidence and the ability to know what you're doing in those situations, and also to lead a team and get everyone to rally behind you. But just because I was the one putting the puck in at the end of it doesn't mean that it wasn't everyone else doing it. And my team at UMD was incredible; they were amazing, and this moment is a big part of them and them getting me here. So I'm incredibly thankful for them. But yeah, just a good team effort, and I loved UMD.
Ready for questions? Yeah, we do have some questions online. Can you elaborate a little bit on your relationship with Gabby Hughes?
Yeah, in my time at UMD, I was a second line center under Gabby Hughes as the first line center. So all 4 of my years when she was there, I got to learn from her. I got to compete against her in practice every single day. She's one of the hardest competitors that I've known and that I've gotten the opportunity to practice with. She's an incredible leader, an incredible teammate, and I've just gotten the chance to get to know her as a person and as a player. And she's pushed me in so many different ways and has taught me so many lessons. So I'm super excited to be able to do that all over again.
Question from Julien Paquette Lebois. What has your UMD teammate Yves Gascon told you about the Ottawa area?
Yeah, Ev has been an incredible teammate this year, and she's taught me a lot. I mean, she's an incredible person, and obviously if you're growing up in a community that's incredible, you're going to become incredible as well. So just knowing that someone as good of a person as Ev, and knowing that she comes from a place like that, I know that city is also amazing.
Simon Hopkins covers Ottawa for the Ice Guard and asks, Ottawa has spoken a lot about wanting to add physicality. What kind of edge and physicality would you add to their team?
Yeah, I think I'm a big sized centerman. I am physical. I've been known for my physical game. I'm a 200-foot player. Love to play in the D zone. So I'm ready for this next level of physicality. I've gotten a lot of physical penalties in college, so I'm excited for a little leeway with that. But yeah, I would say that physicality is a big part of my game.
Great. Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's surreal. I'm super excited. I've been waiting yesterday for my name to be called, and I couldn't be more happier, to be honest.
Take us through the night. I'm sure it was a little bit of course, with the time difference, it was late night or early morning for you back home, but just that anticipation of waiting for your name, and who you celebrated the moment with.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long night. I celebrated it with my best friends. I've been to Vienna now. We had a little draft watch party. So we had a really nice night. And yeah, as soon as I heard my name, I think it was around 5 a.m. Here in Austria. And yeah, we got super happy. And honestly, I couldn't sleep for the rest of the night. So I'm awake since then.
For all of our media participating on the call today, if you have a question for Anna, please raise your hand and I'll be happy to call upon you. Go ahead, please, Kyle.
Hi, Anna. Congratulations, first and foremost. I'm curious what the pre-draft process for you was like, how many teams you talked to, and what your excitement is going to Ottawa and a team that is pretty well regarded as having kind of the most international flair of all the teams in the league.
First of all, thank you. It's been an exciting time for me because I honestly had no idea if I will get picked until last night when I heard my name. So I've talked to 3 teams. All of them been super nice. But in the end, I'm so excited to be part of the organization of Ottawa now. I think coming from Europe and especially coming from a small place in the world, sometimes it's not easy to prove yourself in hockey. So for me to be given that opportunity now, I'm going to do my best to prove that I can play hockey as well, and I'm excited for what's about to come.
Carissa, you can go ahead, please.
My name's Carissa. I'm with CBC Sports in Canada. Congratulations on getting drafted to Ottawa last night. Just wanted to know if you've had any conversations with Teresa Schassel this year. Obviously, another Austrian, first Austrian to play in the league, and so you'll be the second. And if so, what kind of advice or guidance she gave you about playing in the PWHL?
First of all, thank you. I have, of course, talked to Teresa. We recently played Waltz together. We played in a line, so we had a lot of communication. I had a lot of questions about the beat up. So, I mean, she only had high words about the league, about everything here. So, she gave me some tips. Just told me a little bit about everything, and hearing about that kind of pushed my excitement a little more. And now that I'm finally drafted and hopefully can fight for a spot at training camp, I mean, that's definitely a dream come true for me.
That's awesome. And just a quick follow-up on that. I know, like, reading up a little bit on your story, there wasn't girls hockey growing up in Austria, right? And I understand it was even a struggle to play with boys. What does it mean for Austrian hockey and Austrian women's hockey and girls hockey specifically to grow that in the future, to have you and Teresa playing in this league, have players able to watch you, and not just at the grassroots level, but maybe at the senior national team level as well?
I think it's huge. Honestly, like I love to be a role model for the young girls coming up. I think that there is a big talent here in Austria. And I think it's, especially with Teresa leading the way and now hopefully me following her steps, I think it's important to have someone to look up to, and someone, they made it, I can do it. And I think that's something I drive for. So I think it's big.
Great. And just one more for me. Is there a player on Ottawa who you're looking forward to playing with the most, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, the roster is insane. I mean, I don't even know where to look first, but I think, the one player that I might look forward the most is probably Katarina Mrazova, just because I played with her in Sweden for Brynäs, and we played in line together before. So, we're friends, and that's something that brings excitement to me. But obviously, like all the big names, I mean, I don't even know where to start.
That's great. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Anna, if you don't mind, if you can maybe just elaborate a little bit more just on your hockey journey, as I'm sure it's very unique, as you touched on in one of your last answers, but just from playing as a young girl and just some of the different levels and progressions along the way.
Yeah, I would love to. I grew up in Sellamsee, where I'm right now. It's a super small town in Salzburg, Austria. I started playing when I was 3 years old. That's when I learned how to skate. And since then, I started to play hockey with the boys. Unfortunately, in Austria, it's you can't play longer than 17 with the boys. So at that time, I had to make a big decision for myself where to go, leave my parents behind, and go to play with the women's team. The closest team to my hometown is an hour away, and that's Salzburg. But at that time, the best team in the Austrian league was Vienna. So I talked to my parents, and we decided together that that's the best choice for me. So I moved away from home with a young age, played in Vienna, kind of grew into a little an adult earlier than maybe I wanted to, but it was something special, coming from a small town into a big city. From there, I think, I got better and better, and I realized that I really want to do that for a living if it's possible. But in Austria right now, it's not possible. So I needed to make the next step. Then I left, I think that was 2017, to go to Sweden for the first time, and I played with HV71 there, only for 1 season. After that, I came back to Vienna, and I think that probably mentally I wasn't ready to be fully professional, or I wasn't, 100% into it. And then a year, 2 years later, I'm like, no, like this is really what I want to do. And I decided to take another shot on it. And that's when Brynäs came into my life. And I've been playing there now in Sweden for 4 years, living fully professional. I think since then I found a new love for hockey. I mean, I'm super professional about it. I put it, after family, obviously, on the second position. And that's been my journey now. I'm 29, and I'm so excited for that next big step in my career, hopefully.
Thank you. I appreciate your thoughtfulness. How would you describe yourself as a game, and perhaps highlight some of what you believe to be your strongest attributes as a player?
Yeah, I'm definitely fast skater. I think that's always been my strength, skating. I think I love to find a straight way to the net, but I also love to set up my teammates. I think finding a straight way to the net, the speed, I can move fast, I would say, and definitely with the last 2 years in Sweden, I think I always love to play physical, even though I might not be the tallest, but that's something I really love. I love to play physical, and I think those are my biggest strengths.
What were some of the things that you noticed in PWHL games that you watched this season?
The ice is so small. That was the first thought of mine. No, I think the speed there is something different. On the smaller ice, you don't have the time to look up. You don't have the time to do something fancy. I think you have to find a straight way to the net, or sometimes just, dump it in and chase it after. I think that's something that I love. I think it's so fast, it's physical, and I mean, the skill level in this league, I mean, it's the best playing in the world, best players in the world. It's just been a pleasure to watch it, and yeah.
Have you ever been to Ottawa, or what do you know about the city and the area?
Honestly, I have never been there, but obviously after I heard my name yesterday, I started Googling a little bit, and it looks amazing. I mean, it looks like a super beautiful city. My brother has already plans to, when can I book the flight? My whole family is super excited. I mean, I've been following the league closely, and obviously also Ottawa, because I have Rasova and some friends there playing. I followed them. I mean, the fan base seems simply incredible, and I'm so excited for everything.
Any other questions for Anna? Anna, congratulations on being selected by PWHL Ottawa, and thank you so much for your time, and as I said, your thoughtfulness this morning. It was great to hear from you, and we're all very excited for you and can't wait to see you on Ottawa ice in the near future.
Much appreciated. Thank you so much, and have a good rest of the day.
Thank you.
News member of PWHL Ottawa, Madeline Wethington. Congratulations, Madeline. Tell us how it feels to be drafted.
Yeah, it's a surreal feeling being drafted to PWHL Ottawa. I've obviously watched a ton of games this year, and to see the fans and the excitement of the city of Ottawa was really appealing, and I'm just looking forward to getting started.
You've played hockey in Minnesota your entire life, so kind of how excited are you, and how different is it going to be to go to Ottawa and just be playing in a different place for the first time?
Yeah, like you said, it's literally the first time I've ever played outside of the state, other than obviously with like USA hockey events. So it's going to be a really big change for me, but I'm all for change. I'm excited for a new environment, a new culture, a new city. So I think it's going to be a really good experience for me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Jeanette Center from Twin Cities Pages, but wondering how much contact did you have with the Ottawa organization ahead of the draft or with other organizations? And were you surprised by the pick or obviously you're excited to go there, but.
Yeah, I talked to almost every single GM for the past few weeks leading up to the draft. So honestly, I was kind of like, I could end up going anywhere, which is exciting. I did have a really good conversation with Michael, and he's phenomenal GM. So leading up to it, I had an idea potentially of going to Ottawa. My head coach, Coach Frost at the University of Minnesota, really raved about Ottawa and had some great things to say about it. And he really convinced me to, really consider going to Ottawa. And as I did more research and looked into it, I was like, wow, I think this is the place for me.
Great. And then you mentioned you had family in Ottawa. Have you spent a lot of time there growing up, or is this kind of brand new to you?
So I've actually never been to Ottawa, which is exciting. I haven't been to Canada much outside of the U18 World Championships and USA Hockey events in Calgary and Toronto and Brampton. So having been to Ottawa, excited to go. My grandpa actually went to medical school in Ottawa. So I remember growing up, he always raved about Ottawa. This is back in probably, I don't know, the 60s. So obviously the city has changed tremendously, but he just said the people, the culture, those things don't really change much. And so he raved about it. And my uncle was born, my uncle and my godfather, he was born in Ottawa. So yeah.
Would you describe yourself as a physical player? This question's online from Julian Paquette of Ottawa.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 5'10", 170 pounds. I'm not afraid to throw my weight out there. And so I was excited to see, the league and how the refs just allowed that physical play. And I definitely used my size to my advantage, and I'm ready to get after it.
More questions from the floor? Yes.
Another one. Simon Hopkins of the Ice Garden covers Ottawa. What were your takeaways watching the PWHL last season?
I think the two biggest things I took away, actually three. Obviously, the skill. There's tremendous skill. It's the best players in the world. Then you also have the speed of the players. Everybody's so fast, not only in terms of their speed, but in terms of their decision making. And then third, obviously, as everybody has said throughout this whole entire season, is the physicality and the refs allowing the play to happen, which I think is tremendous. And it gets people excited to watch the game too.
Nicole Hadley, Victory Press. Is there anybody on Ottawa that you're looking forward to playing maybe with as opposed to against?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's obviously a tremendous amount of great players. The first one that comes to mind is Brandon Jenner. She's a phenomenal player. I've never played with or against her, so I'm excited to go to battle with her every day, get me better. I've played with and against Natalie Snodgrass and Gabby Hughes, obviously, because they're from Minnesota. That personal connection. I've played on U18 teams with them. And then obviously Daryl Watts, for example, I've played against her year after year, Minnesota versus Wisconsin border battle. So excited to be on the same team, which will be fun.
I think we're good.
Yes, thank you. Please welcome General Manager of PWHL, Mike Hirshfeld. Mike, just take us through the draft from PWHL Ottawa's perspective.
Yeah, we're obviously thrilled with what happened tonight and the players we were able to add to our organization. We really came in here with a couple of priorities. One was to get a little tougher, a little grittier, and I think we accomplished that. We also wanted to add some size to our group. So we were really able to check all the boxes. We want to get tougher on the back end, and so we really pleased with the defenders we added, and also again thrilled with the goalie. Gwyneth, we think, has a great future ahead of her, and really excited to watch her continue to develop and grow.
Questions from you? No, please raise your hand. If there's questions online, please type them into the chat.
Hey, Mike, again, I guess just
Long time.
I guess just maybe talk about the number 2 overall pick. What was maybe how simple, how tough was that decision, and what do you think of Danielle at number 2 and what she brings to Ottawa?
We're thrilled to add her to our organization. It's someone that we identified a couple months ago as the player that was right at the top of our list. Again, she brings a lot of intangibles to our group that we were looking to add in terms of grittiness and competitiveness. She's an on the puck player, so 200-foot center. So when you put all that together with her size and her age, we think there's a huge ceiling ahead of her. So we're excited to see what's ahead.
You added a bunch, I think 3 defenders in this draft. Maybe what would that competition be like at training camp for you? And like you signed a couple players as well. Is anyone assured spots? Maybe just speak to that.
We did competition in camp, and we have 8 defenders now in our group. And that was that was a challenge we had at the end of last season when we lost a couple of players to injury and obviously made the trade with Montreal. So we're not going to make that mistake again, and we feel like we're in a really good position. We added a lot of size, a lot of strength, a lot of toughness. So we're excited about our group.
You had a pretty young team last year. How much did age how much of age was a factor in drafting players, no matter where at?
Yeah, we wanted to add some more experience in the locker room. I think Ronja is, again, a little bit of an older player. She played internationally for a while, so she brings that skill set. And Meixner from Austria, again, a little bit older, but someone who's been around the international game for a long time. So we're excited to bring those 2 individuals into our locker room. And again, I think experience will help us. Some of those games that we lost late in the 3rd period last year, I think those types of players will help us get better at that for this season.
With this being your second go around with drafting for Ottawa, what's your comfort level like heading into this one as opposed to last year?
I think this year we just had a lot more time to prepare. Last year we kind of pulled everything together in a couple of weeks, and this draft we've been preparing for this for 2 months. So it really gives us a chance to dig a little bit deeper on the players, talk to more, their families, the coaches that that coached against them, players that played against them. So it gives us a chance to really feel even more comfortable with the players we're selecting. So again, we're really happy with the results tonight.
There were several very good goaltenders available. Can you speak to why you made the selection that you made? What drew you to Gwen?
Yeah, we've been looking at her for a couple of months, and I think I said just a moment ago, I had some of my old contacts at the NHL goalie coaches have a look at her tape, and they were just blown away by her speed and agility. And she has all the intangibles to be one of the best goalies in this league. So for us, we're excited to see her play this year, but we're excited for what the future holds. And, hopefully she'll be in Ottawa for a long time. And, we think she has a chance to be one of the better goaltenders in this league in the future.
Thanks so much.
In regards to the goaltending situation, Mike, obviously going with Gwen, should we read into anything in terms of a negotiation with Sandra Abstreiter, who was kind of the number 2 last year?
Yeah, we made an offer to Sandra. She's contemplating it, obviously, before the free agency window opens on June 21st. So we're optimistic that she'll come back, but this definitely gave us some, insurance in case she doesn't.
Does somebody like Mannon from UND just kind of fit the mold? She seems like a Gabby Hughes, Haley Skamura type 200-foot player.
Yeah, we really wanted to get, again, a little tougher, a little grittier. She's an incredible special teams player. So we really, see her, playing a lot on the penalty kill. And the other thing that's a real big attribute for her is the face-off circle. She's one of the best in the NCAA. So getting better at that, and 3rd periods, we lost some games last year late in the 3rd periods. Having some improvement on the face-off circle, I think is a big step for us. So we really like her.
Any more questions from the floor?
We've got some online, so then just in the meantime, Mike Julian Paquette Ledois watching and asks, we spoke last week about wanting to add size to your lineup. Can you talk about how you managed to address this?
Yeah, I think we did that with virtually every pick. So obviously Danielle's got some size and brings a physicality from, in her game. Ronja, the same thing. Steph Markowski is one of the toughest, most competitive players out there. Her coaches describe her as mean and nasty, so that's good for us. Mannon again brings some size too. So every pick, you know, we had size and grit in mind when we made it.
Julian also follows up and says, how much of a factor was reuniting good friends when it comes to drafting Markowski and McMahon?
Yeah, it's a good question. I was asked that earlier. I actually didn't even know that they were good friends. Carla was the one who told me that Carla actually coached both of them. So there was a connection there, but I didn't even know it. So it had absolutely nothing to do with the picks.
Mackenzie, Victory Press. Can you just talk a little bit? Danielle played some very different roles over her different years at Colgate. You know, she can be that point person. She also was really good this last year dishing pucks. What do you see as her role when she comes to play with you guys?
I honestly don't know yet. Obviously, we'll see where it goes in training camp. But again, she's got all the skills. So she can play a 200-foot game. She's tough, physical. She can carry the puck. She's on puck center. So we'll see where it plays out in training camp. But again, the tools that she brings to the table are what really were attractive for us. Her age, the ceiling that she has ahead of her, you put all those factors together, we're super thrilled to have her.
Last one, Mike, from Simon Hopkins, who points out that no Czech players for you guys tonight. But I know Harlan was laughing at me about that. So we liked a couple of Czech players that went just before us. But yeah, again, we think for us, Ottawa, you know, it's a multicultural, diverse city. We've always drafted with that mindset that we want to have a diverse group. So obviously happy to bring in a player from Austria, a player from Finland this year to add to the mix. So that's our identity in Ottawa, and I think we're excited to bring those two players on board. Thanks, Mike.